I've now done, this guy's whipping stuff at the squirrels. I can't even tell where I'm, can I, okay.
I know you gonna dig this. Get funky with me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Toronto, my hometown. This is where I was born and raised. This is where I lived, I laughed, I loved. I laughed hard, but I loved harder. Right here, Toronto. And as you can see, we are all practicing social distancing. I'm only going out for exercise and essential runs, but I'm stopping to film along the way. This is a little parquet. We have a bunch of these in Toronto. Look, let me show you. Like, look, even if it was open, it'd be like, okay, let's go play in the park. Okay, well, here we are. That's it. So the fact that it's closed doesn't make a difference. It's tiny. We have so many of these. It's so weird. What a fun park. So I'm here today to do the filming locations for one of the greatest 80s movies ever made, Adventures in Babysitting. Now, Toronto is a mecca of filming locations. After New York and LA, I think Toronto is the biggest film production place in the world, like where most movies are shot. Yet I never do any filming locations in Toronto, but you're gonna see a lot coming up now. And so many of my favorite movies have been shot in Toronto. It's very, very strange. Now, Touchstone Pictures shot so many films in the 80s here in Toronto. I'm not gonna name them all because I'm gonna do them all probably. But Adventures in Babysitting, everybody loves Adventures in Babysitting. Everybody, boy or girl, wanted a babysitter like Chris. Elisabeth Shue, right? We all did. Oh, we all did. I mean, she was beautiful, she was fun, she was cool, she was hip. Yeah. I had a 75-year-old babysitter, so not exactly the same. But she was hot. I mean, still. She was my grandmother, but that's weird. All right, let me show you the filming locations right now. So at the very beginning of the film, after Chris is dancing in her bedroom, which was a set in Chicago, she's dancing to "And Then He Kissed Me." Her boyfriend, I think his name was Mike, played by Bradley Whitford, this dude. You know him. I think this set him up to play smarmy butts the rest of his life. Because he's always playing a smarmy butt, but he's really good at it. But the car comes right around this corner. You see this house in the background. It's still here with that little part of the house in the background there. And then they come right down this, he comes right down here as I'm following this Grand Cherokee. Get out of my shot, dude. To Chris's house. Right here. Now it looks completely different, completely, and it's for sale. If you'd like to purchase it, please chip in with me. We can all live here together. But see the basketball net? Look at the garage. It's the same garage. They put that on top now. So that was the original house there, but they've added that part. But it's the same garage. I believe you can see part of that too when he drives up. And she greets him at the front door, and he says, "My sister's sick, I can't go out tonight." But we get the feeling he's lying. And he was. Car comes right here. Drives right in there. And so then what happens? Well, she gets called to babysit. She doesn't want to do it, but she decides to do it. So she travels all through these streets of Toronto on her way to...
Too old to babysit.
Did you see that? That was 2 Porsches that just drove by me. 2. Come on. I mean, it's a nice neighborhood, but we get it. Like, please. So yeah, Chris, the babysitter, decides that, well, she's not gonna go out with her boyfriend. She may as well make some money, go babysit at the last minute. So she drives through the streets of Toronto to the house that you're going to babysit at, which you think is really close. It's not. I'm going to take you there right now, though. And I've gone to this house so many times, just walked by it, and it looks exactly the same. Very cool. Why have I never filmed it before? I don't know. I'm not that smart. Let's go. Now, I would think that the most iconic filming location from Adventures in Babysitting is the Anderson house, the babysitting house. Now, if you haven't seen Adventures in Babysitting, what? But what it's about, so it's Chris, the babysitter, comes to this house. There's a teenage boy, little girl, teenage boy's friend. They have to go pick up her friend from downtown Chicago, but we're in Toronto, but it takes place in Chicago, because she ran away from home and she has no money. So they have to go pick her up. And a night of hilarity, insanity, and craziness ensues, like all 80s movies. But it all begins pretty much at this house right here. And let me tell you, we used to drive by this house all the time when I was a teenager in Toronto, just to look at it, because it was the Adventures in Babysitting house. And it's right around us. Why not? And it still looks the exact same. All right, let's go to the next location. Oh yeah, show you the house. Wasn't that funny? Chris pulls up right to the house right here. And there it is, the Adventures in Babysitting house. You can still see, same garage, same door even. That door matches up. The lights are in the same place. That light on the side, all the same. That top window right there, at the very end of the movie, Brad's looking out the window when Chris meets her new man. And he's kind of like, I'm kind of happy for her. Right there. So the window where, what was the friend's name? Played by Anthony Rapp. Daryl. Where he's making the faces, would have been right around back, but it's private property. Somebody's house. Now I will trespass in Toronto, like I said, I've always made that promise. But not on somebody's private property, like a house property. But like on a street that says, you can't go down this street, or you can't go into this. Well, now with COVID, maybe I won't for a little while. But I promise you soon, I'll start trespassing. What are they gonna do? It's Toronto. Well, at least they can't kick me out of the country, I don't think. Now, of course, the door is a different color. Again, it's the same door. I don't know if it's the exact same door, same style of door, but it looks like the exact same door, just a different color. They painted it red. Why am I angry? All right, I've got a lot more locations coming from Adventures in Babysitting. Now, which one am I going to? I gotta go. I'm not really gonna go in order. I'm just gonna kind of, yeah. Now, just to give you a quick indication of how many films have been actually shot in Toronto. Why is it windy all of a sudden? I just passed 3 filming locations on the way from the babysitting house to this location, from different movies. And I was on Degrassi Street at one point. The Degrassi Street. So it's pretty crazy here in Toronto in terms of filming. And as you can see, the streets are really quiet. There's no one around, so we are practicing social distancing here in Toronto. Hope you all are safe and doing well in your own cities, your own towns, and doing the same. And I'm getting some exercise, but I'm making it into the filming exercise. So, bring you up to speed on the movie as well. When they go downtown Chicago, to pick up their friend from the bus station, which was, the exteriors were shot in Chicago over the bus station, the interiors were shot at the Toronto bus station over down Bay Street, but it looks completely different inside now. So I'm not even gonna bother with that. It looks completely different. But they blow a tire, a tow truck driver picks them up, really nice guy, with a hook for a hand. And then what happens is, he finds out that his wife has been cheating on him. He kind of already had a suspicion, I think, because the guy's car is parked outside the house. So he decides to take the kids to his house, where he decides to attack the man that's with his wife. And it happens right here in this house. This is where they drive up, right here. And this, I believe you see this house in the background. So the tow truck driver comes along here, towing Chris and the kids. He's upset, he's angry. They go right into that house right there. And it all takes place. The action in that window. And the guy gets thrown out the window. Then the kids jump into a car right here. It's the car belonging to the guy that's having the affair with the truck driver's wife. Keep up. But this car is in the process of being stolen. So they decide to go along with the guy that's stealing the car. Smart idea. And they go to a chop shop. And that's where we're going next, to where the chop shop used to be. But let's just look at this one more time here. Come right up this street. Yeah, I think, and that tree is the same tree, this tree right here. Right in. Paper, not plastic, buddy. Come on, why are you weighing a toque? It's April. You're Canadian, eh? To that house right there. All right, so we're gonna go to the chop shop, which is across town. Yeah. All right, so we're going to the chop shop. The chop shop. Chop shop. Let's go to the chop shop. All right, where was I? Yes, the chop shop. So, well, that's where I am. Okay, now a little. So, they leave. I turned into Christopher. They leave from the house. I turned into Christopher Walken. Really bad. That's a hacky move to do, Christopher Walken. From the tow truck driver's house. Anyways, they leave from the tow truck driver's house in the stolen car. And they come up this street. I make myself laugh, it doesn't matter. They come up this street right here. Now it looks completely different, but this is where it's filmed. You can tell by the background here and this building right here. They come right around this corner. This was really hard to find. There's a bit of information about it online, but I had to match it up. And I realized, after looking at old photos of this building, this is the same building in the shot. It's just been completely refurbished. This is King West Center. This is down in Liberty Village, Toronto. This is the same old building, but it's been completely, well, not refurbished, it's been completely redone. But I guess that's refurbished. I don't understand terms or things, anything. But you see that wall in the background, that's still the same. So the car comes right up this street. What I couldn't figure out for the life of me was where the chop shop was, because they come up this street. So I was like, well, then where do they turn? Like, is the chop shop one of these old buildings that's gone now? No. Now the entrance to the chop shop is gone. Chop shop. It's where they're taking the car to be well, this is a weird little. Okay, I'm going down an alley again. I love going down alleys, anyways. Curse the alley. So what I'm. All right, hold on a second. I was right here the whole time. So I'm actually, this is the street. So the chop shop would have been right here beside me. It's gone. But these windows, you see in the background, they come right up here. Right down this street. Let me show you. So right over there is the street that they turn around and come up. And then they come back down, just do a loop. They trick it, make it look like it's somewhere else. They tricked us. Right down here. And as you can see, that building is still the same in the background. The chop shop would have been right here, but it's gone. Oh yeah, come right down here. This building's still standing. It's in the shot. There you go. That's where the chop shop was. So Daryl, Brad's best friend, Brad Anderson, the kid, Keith Coogan. What's up, Keith Coogan? He steals a Playboy magazine because Chris looks like Chris the this is getting really, I don't have to explain the whole plot. You've seen the movie. So Daryl steals a Playboy, sets off the gangsters that are in the chop shop, trying to get that Playboy back. And that's when it all goes to poop. So now I'm gonna take you to a few other locations. Now, the Silver Dollar, that's the blues bar that they go into, right? When we're trying to escape. That's gone. Completely gone. And the exterior for that was a bar in Chicago. But the interior was a bar in Chicago. But the exterior, and that's still there.
Nobody leave this place without singing the blues.
But the exterior was a bar called the Silver Dollar in Toronto. And everybody who lives in Toronto knows the Silver Dollar. We've all spent a month or two at the Silver Dollar, you know, back in the day. Hey, what's up? You know, it's a fun night at the Silver Dollar, but it's gone now, which sucks. Really sucks. All right, so what was I saying now? So the Silver Dollar's gone. Yeah. So I'm not even gonna show you that because I get really annoyed because that was such a historic, iconic bar in Toronto that Silver Dollar's gone. At least they got that old building refurbished. Refurbished? Remodeled? Rebuilt? Rebooted. They rebooted it. And no, we don't say a boot in Canada. We say about. I've lost the thread of what this video is about anyways. All right, let's go. A. Right here, now, this, I've jumped ahead a bit in the plot, but right behind me, see this building here? Let me flip around. This building right here, see where this glass entrance is? This used to be all concrete. I believe it's probably still behind a bit, but that's where the entrance to the French restaurant was. And when about an hour and 10 minutes into the movie, that's where Chris discovers that her boyfriend, his car outside, I believe the license plate says "So Cool," parked outside, and she goes in and confronts him and sees that he's with another girl. And he makes some pretty derogatory remarks about Elisabeth Shue, and she gives him that Elisabeth Shue face. That one. And you don't want to be on the receiving end of that. No way. And then Daryl kicks him onto another table. And that was shot inside another restaurant in Chicago. But the exterior is right here. So I said I wasn't going to get out of my car to film this location too. But like I said, there's parking everywhere I go. And see here, this is Yonge and Bloor. This is probably the busiest intersection in Toronto, if not Canada. Well, Yonge and Dundas down maybe is just as busy. I don't know. I think Yonge and Bloor is. And it's completely changed. It's completely changed. I mean, everything here on every corner, I think that the old Bay building is still the same. There's a little Toronto history. But that's new. Behind me, something's coming in new. Across the street. But that intersection, completely different now. But right here, Sarah, the youngest Anderson kid, who had a weird obsession with Thor, played by Vincent D'Onofrio. That dude, he's in everything. She wanders off later in the movie, and she's outside of a toy store, and that's when the gangsters start chasing her. That toy store used to be located right here, and in actuality, it was a toy store. But it was one of those toy stores, like when I was a kid, we'd if I'd be down here with my father or mother or something, it was a toy store that had like science toys and, you know, like gourmet toys. I don't even know if that's a thing. They didn't have action figures, really. It wasn't that kind of toy store. It was a toy store, but it was like an upscale toy store. They didn't have Star Wars stuff, really, that much. Star Wars stuff you had to get from a department store. So I had no interest in this toy store, really, as a kid. Just what the world needs. Another H&M. Perfect. Right here. This whole building right here. Don't look at me, lady. Okay. Toy store. All right, now I'm gonna take you to two more locations from Adventures of Babysitting that happened just before this scene, the toy store scene. But they are really cool, and they're pretty much the last ones that were shot in Toronto. I've done all the Toronto locations. Yeah, I think I have. Like I said, most of it was shot, well, no. Like I said, 50-50 Chicago, Toronto. But a lot of the streets, like when they're getting on the subway or the train, that's Chicago. The building that she falls off of, they fall inside of that weird building, whatever the hell it's called in Chicago, it's called this. That's Chicago, obviously. Then they shot so many interiors in Chicago. But yeah. Dude, I'm standing here. I want to ring your bell. I gotta go kick his ass. I'll be right back. And this building is the Manulife Center, and my mother worked here for many, many, many years. Interesting? I don't know. Now, in the film Adventures in Babysitting, Brad gets a knife in the foot, and that's not good. So they have to go to a hospital. And then they leave the hospital and they go to a frat house. Does that look familiar? No. But, so I've kind of jumped ahead in terms of the whole plot here. But what they did, what's very interesting, is you see this building here? They pretended that this was the hospital exit or entrance. I think it says entrance or exit. I can't remember what the sign says. But right here, they set up this to look like this was a hospital that they come out of. After they have the whole interaction with the gang on the train, and he gets stabbed in the foot, and she says, "Don't F with the babysitter." They use this driveway right here as the hospital driveway. And then they walk right along this street to this building right here, because there's a rager going on. There's a party, a frat party. And this is actually a frat house. It really is. Delta, what is it? Delta, Kappa, Epsilon. Delta, Kappa, Epsilon. I don't know. I assume that's what they do. Delta, Kappa, Epsilon. I'm guessing. I was never in a fraternity. I went to university, but I was in a sorority, an all-male sorority. So I was in a fraternity. We did the usual things. Bake sales, car washes, tickle fights, everything you think would go on in an all-male sorority. But yeah, this is the frat house right there from Adventures in Babysitting. I can't tell where I'm looking now. The sun's all over the place. There it is. Looks pretty much the same, doesn't it? And that's where she meets the boy from Father of the Bride. And at the very end of the movie, he comes to the Anderson house. And that's where true love is sown. Not really shown, it's sown. But yeah, that's the frat house right there. All right, so from Toronto, this. Yeah, I see him too. Oh, see the squirrel? Yeah, he's whipping nuts at the squirrel. That sounds dirty. What are you doing? Hey, what have you been doing all day? Huh? I'm whipping nuts at the squirrel. Oh, you won't be.
Thank you.
No problem. Camera shy in Toronto? That's a first. I don't want to be filmed. Well, I wasn't planning on it. Lady in a beret. Fashion crime. And a bejeweled beret as well. I'm calling everyone out. All right. Let's, well, yeah, that's it. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Adventures in Babysitting. Pete from the 80s Room. Totally 80s Room on Instagram. Follow them. This one was for you. I know you want to see this for a long time. Everybody, stay safe. Stay protected. Let's get through this. All right. Peace out. And like I said, lots more coming from Toronto. Is that the same guy on the bike that dinged at me? Where are you running to? What's the hurry? Like,